All right. We got some new toys here, man.
We got a bunch of new toys.
Christmas has come.
Christmas was very good to us here at White Belt Studios.
It's funny because I feel like at this point I essentially buy my own Christmas presents, and then I mail them to my house, tell my parents to wrap them up for me, and then they just give me money in exchange for them. It's actually a pretty solid deal.
Just a little reimbursement program you got going.
I also like too that our initial filming ourselves debut here has some festive backdrop.
Yeah, well, it's a new year is on the way, and it's a new age for the podcast.
It is.
We've got a little bit of everything going on. I personally would like to thank the Christmas mice.
Yes.
Shitty though their presentation may be.
I really wanted to make sure that they were front and center, even more so than us, because they're really the stars of the show here.
Yeah, they're the ones who are responsible for us having this beautiful setup. They put in a good word with the big red man. And here we are.
They're the gremlins, too, who are constantly altering our old mixer settings.
Yes.
I think we've discovered this. This is a moment in time capturing them doing their gremlining.
It's important that we appease them and make them feel welcome and like they are a contributing part of the show. And maybe that means that we don't have the technical issues of your laptop magically appearing underneath your foot.
Yeah, that had the tendency to do that. It was rather unfortunate. But, the one thing I'm going to have to I totally understand why, and obviously we're not a big enough operation to warrant such things quite yet, hopefully one day, but I understand the role of, like, the Jamie on the Rogan show or the Red Band of years past.
Yeah.
It is so stressful to wonder if all of this, as I point towards our new filming setup, it's so stressful to wonder if that's working.
Yeah.
While we're doing this.
And is it going to last
a
while we sit through this? We're actually recording this on an iPhone now, which is pretty impressive.
I actually think that's something, as we try to embark into the video world, that's something we can make a video about, is here are two doofuses who knew nothing about video production, and here's what we decided to go with.
Yeah.
So I think
we
that
put
could
this
be
setup together. It's working for us.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully. We don't actually know. Yes, exactly.
Please, Christmas mice.
Yes.
Oh, great spirits of the Christmas mice.
It's also weird to like think about the filming aspect in that, like, most of the time we do this podcast, both of us are not at all in a presentable sort of form.
No, my hair looks like shit right now.
Just
like
literally
I didn't even
like
think about that.
Dragging ourselves out of bed and be like, let's fucking talk about the fights from last week. But now we're gonna have to at least put some degree of effort into that, appearance thing.
I guess that's
probably for the best, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what should be the purpose of our first experimental YouTube video? Let's say it's happy holidays to the white belts out there.
From the Rascal Boys and the Christmas Mice.
And the Christmas Mice.
And Elvis and Chuck Norris back here. I don't know if they are coming through with the lighting or not.
And the Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama himself.
A little studio tour here. This is our we actually have a pretty nice recording area. I'm not ashamed to put this on the interwebs.
No.
The
curated a good thing for ourselves, and it's only going to get better because now it's a visual.
It is so
not just for us.
Ooh, I have something special. Let's you keep filling time, and I'm going to go get you a very special addition to our studio. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, I'm so excited! I'm going to keep doing this drum roll until it pops out. Oh, thank God he didn't have to go all the way to the other room for this, because I am so offbeat right now. Oh, what is this? What is this? I'm ready. What do we got? Close your eyes. I'm going to
place them in your hands. Keep your eyes closed.
Okay. My hands are out.
Left hand, put it on that side. Right hand, you're going to put it on this side.
Okay.
And you're going to hold it and you're going to look at it.
Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen.
Why don't you show that to the camera?
The newest addition to White Belts in Life Studio. The Gravedigger himself. Oh, my God. That's perfect. That is perfect.
I found that cleaning out my room at my parents' house, and I was like, this has to be a part of what we do.
Not only is it like a Gravedigger postcard, it's an autographed Gravedigger postcard.
You're goddamn right it's an autographed Gravedigger postcard.
I was going to say, like, where did you get this? How did you come across this? But then I remembered you grew up in Scranton.
Yes.
And it's self-explanatory.
That was a big night of the year, man, when the Monster Jam came to town.
When the Gravedigger
All right. Well, now we get to see if this actually fucking worked. Hopefully, if it
Yes.
did. Godspeed.
And happy holidays.
No Jack and Daxter up in here.
No Jack and Daxter. Not even Jack 2 or 3.
It was more of a Ratchet and Clank guy.
This is true. I definitely was a little bit more into that franchise. I didn't like Jack and Daxter 1, but 2 and 3 because you're in like this weird dystopian future sci-fi fantasy world that like redeemed it. So I got into it there.
Here's a quick, nice commercially based question for you that we're fresh off the holidays. Give me your top 5 games ever. Any platform, any time period. Top 5. Or I would say top 3.
Top 3. Okay. Any platform.
Anytime. And the criteria here is not taking into account like their commercial success, not taking into account what the consensus of their reviews from other media outlets was. Purely the games you had the most fun playing ever.
Max Payne.
Okay.
I'm going to put Max Payne up there.
Max Payne 1.
1. Yes,
Okay.
the original
For
Max
the PS2.
Payne. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I played a little on Xbox. Either system.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bias on that way, but it's purely on quality of the game and enjoyment of the story. Max Payne 1.
Okay.
Then, in keeping with that, I'm going to go Metal Gear Solid 1.
Okay, for the PS1?
The original Metal Gear Solid, yep.
Okay.
And then, that's where it gets tricky. The number 3 slot.
Golden Sun?
No. Golden Sun was all right. Golden Sun was weird, though. I went back and replayed it.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to, like, engage with the story. Like, it does feel a lot like a watered-down Final Fantasy.
Yeah, it was the first game like that was able to be ported to a mobile console. It was just a shittier Final Fantasy for mobile.
Yeah, like it's all the same tropes and everything like that, and the characters just don't grab me the way characters. You know what? I'm gonna say, just on that topic alone, I'm gonna say Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
Again, PlayStation 1.
Sony guy.
That's
It's a clean sweep for Sony consoles here.
Max Payne
was multi-console.
Yeah. And then of course, I love the Mario franchise. I love the Super Smash franchise. Like a lot of other Nintendo stuff, but it's hard for me to pick a specific game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
No one in particular stands out.
Like I just like all of that stuff together. Like I can't really pick one that is like above and beyond. Mario 64. I'll give that one an honorable mention.
Okay,
we'll
do a 3 with an honorable mention. I like that. that. All right. I am going to say favorite game of all time. I'm going to go Mass Effect.
Okay.
And you could put any of the... I know that I'm breaking the own rules that I had just set forth here. But, like, I don't care. Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3, pick one.
Yeah. The Mass Effect franchise as a whole.
Mass Effect is definitely probably my favorite game of all time. Number 2... I am going to say the Walking Dead Telltale game.
Really?
Yes, that was
going off
fucking incredible, man.
Okay.
I've never had a narrative experience like that with a video game.
Okay.
Have you ever played it?
No, I've never played the Telltale games.
It's for iPhone. You should totally fucking play it. I cannot recommend it enough. Number 3. Number 3 is tricky. I'm going to say Luigi's Mansion.
Really?
Loved Luigi's Mansion.
Did not see that one coming.
Luigi's Mansion. But I'll be honest with you, really what I'm saying is there was a particular Christmas, so this is in our holiday episode, which rehash our favorite Christmases. There were 2 that stand out. The one was when I got a GameCube. My friend Frank got a GameCube, and it was kind of like, everyone else was going PS2 and Xbox, and he was the one motherfucker who went GameCube. And I remember I went over to his house and was just blown away by Luigi's Mansion. He had Super Smash. He had everything. Yeah. So there was a Christmas where I got a GameCube. I got Luigi's Mansion for it. I got Super Smash for it. And I got a third game that I think it would maybe like Star Fox. I don't know. But it was just, I was basking in just commercial, what's the right word I'm looking for here? I want to say like hedonism. commercial
I
hedonism.
guess, yeah. That's
Just I'm basking
yeah.
in the fact that I have all of the products that I want right now. And then there was another Christmas where probably the best holiday ever in terms of video game releases. I had already had a 360, I believe, but there was a holiday where I got Rock Band, and this is like, looking back on it, my parents must have been so upset that they're spending this much money on video games. But this is one of the few Christmases where it was worth it, goddammit.
Yeah.
I got Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. I got, or was that, no, yeah, it was Call of Duty 4. The one where they finally broke away from World War II.
Okay. I've got, those games have gotten so, like,
yeah, they're too numerous.
Into their niches.
They're like Madden now.
Because then there's, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty World at War.
Black Ops
blah, blah, blah.
3, Black Ops 4, all
Yeah.
shit.
I can't follow it.
No, I can't either. I'm not really but that's a whole nother conversation. Not really a big first-person shooter guy. But
Yeah.
that was great. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. I also got Assassin's Creed 1.
Nice.
I got Rock Band. And then I also got Mass Effect.
Okay.
That is a fucking lineup of games, man.
So wait, what are your favorites now? Because I feel like we just talked about like
that was
a bunch
I
of
went on a
different
Christmas
games
rant there. Number 1 was Mass Effect.
Okay.
Number 2 was The Walking Dead.
Yes.
The Telltale version, because there's a million different throughs. Luigi's Mansion. I'm gonna be honest with you, MGS probably I'd say 4.
That's your honorable mention.
Is definitely my honorable mention, and honestly, on a given day, that could easily be as high as 2, just depending upon how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say those are the 4 games that kind of stand out starkly amongst the rest.
As far as like first-person shooters, like I love GoldenEye growing up, but I also like part of why I love GoldenEye was when like you could just like put on all the cheats. So you have like
big head
dual wielding like rocket launchers and like
Isn't it funny that
shit.
That was a good game? Because like in the modern day, like a 007 game would be immediately thrown right into the garbage.
Yes.
Like there's no chance that that would ever be considered even like I don't even know if they'd review it. I don't even know if you can get a big time game media company to review a 007 game nowadays.
Well, they tried to like keep the franchise going after GoldenEye, and it just didn't work.
No.
Like I know they made The World Is Not Enough. They were like following the
Tomorrow.
Pierce
Didn't they make
Brosnan.
Tomorrow Never Dies too?
Yeah, I never played Tomorrow Never Dies. It was the same basic idea. That I played The World Is Not Enough, which again, same thing, not as ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exactly, except like one of the things was you had a watch that had different settings.
I remember
so
that.
There was like a dart or a laser or a zapper taser thing. But it wasn't as fun. And then they went third person after that, and that was just a mess.
Oh, yeah.
And at that point, you had way better third-person shooters and first-person shooters, so that it just got dusted.
There is something about Nintendo, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
Like, there's something about their lineup of games, like Super Mario, Mario Party, Mario Kart, fucking Fox games are still coming out. There's something about, obviously, did I even mention Super Smash? Of course,
we did a little bit.
So like. There's something about their roster of games that, like, even now as a 27-year-old, like I walk through a store and I see the Switch, and then I see all the games. I'm like, God,
I kind of want to play that.
I kind of want to play all those.
They got a new Zelda?
Yeah. Oh, well, of course. How could I forget Zelda? But there's something about Nintendo, man. They just have it. They have that. I think it's because of the nostalgia factor for so many people.
They cornered the market early.
Yes.
And that legacy is just carried on. It's almost like a Marvel or DC at this point. Like they've just embedded themselves that deeply in the collective unconscious that they will, even if they're not top of the line in terms of like game quality, they will always consistently sell.
Super Smash Bros.
Stay afloat, and
the extended
when they
universe.
get the chance, they're gonna the Super Smash Brothers is like the ultimate crossover game series, and they just keep adding people in.
Yes.
Like it's not even the same. It's not even Nintendo characters anymore. You got Snake, you've got Cloud from Final Fantasy in there.
Well, that's the next thing, though, is like they've gone too far in that direction, whereas the next Super Smash Bros., I can already see the marketing is going to be like just the original cast. Jigglypuff.
But then, surprise, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider.
Boom. I feel like all of the characters are just like Snake is just Link. He's just a carbon copy. He's got like the basic attacks. He's got like the ranged.
He's got they did a good job giving him his own set there.
Yeah, but
his
play style is very like just because
well, you're relying on like gadgets as opposed to
just like Kirby and fucking Jigglypuff.
Yeah,
we're always essentially the same character.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's enough Super Smash Bros.
Yes,
stuff.
that is enough.
I love how we have so much to talk about.
Talk about smashing.
Yeah.
I'm heated.
Yes. So tell me why you are heated.
Because of the utter travesty leading up to and ending with UFC 232.
Yes.
Just the absolute mess of I don't I know this is there's science behind it and there's all this stuff, but at the end of the day, with who we're specifically dealing with and the company that we're dealing with, I do not buy the pictogram, whatever.
Picogram?
The 1/1,000,000th of a grain of sand bullshit excuse that we're being given in terms of John Jones testing. If that's the case, why has nobody else tested for that? All these fighters who have tested hot for different substances, none of them have come back with blood work that has said that they have that trace element. 18 months? You tell me 18 months later that shit stays in your system?
It's a long time.
That's I understand that it's possible. I understand that I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's in his system still, does that not? It's like, oh well, it's not enough to be active, but it's there.
Yeah,
it's still there. It's still.
So here's in situations like this, this is the first thought that kind of pops into my brain, and it's that we have to remind ourselves that the UFC's primary objective is to make as much money as possible off of fights.
Yes.
It's not to, further the creed of martial arts. It's not to demonstrate to us the morality of sport. Yeah. It is to make as much money as humanly possible off of mixed martial arts fights.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, number one, John Jones, regardless of circumstance, is one of the top 5 people that allows them to do that in the world. And then you add in right now, he's really their only guy who could probably do that at his level. Because Conor, that doesn't seem like that situation's playing out very well. His coach just said that he hasn't seen him and that he's not the same fighter.
No.
I mean,
truthfully, I don't think Conor was the same fighter going into the Khabib fight.
I think that it's impossible to be the same fighter there's something about, it sounds stupid, but it's Rocky IV, right?
Yeah.
Like, you get to the top, and it's just difficult to recreate the drive to, like, once you've made something of yourself, you've lost that unending fire to make something of yourself when you have not yet. Yeah. And once that goal is achieved, it's just impossible to recreate that level of drive. And I think he's seeing that. I mean, the guy's got more money than God. What is the incentive other than legacy? But his legacy is already fucking sterling.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do except to tarnish his legacy.
Yeah.
In fact, the Khabib fight already probably did.
Yeah. No, he realized the look on his face after the tap was literally him seeing his career just crumble.
Yeah, because
everything, like, he can maybe beat Tony, but he's never going to beat Khabib.
No.
He's not going to beat Ben Askren.
No.
Like, he's never, and he's taken enough blows to his ego. Like, he didn't even fight the same against Khabib. Granted, like, maybe that was his strategy, that he wanted to be a little bit heavier on his feet to try and be ready for the takedown. But I honestly don't think that he will ever be the Conor McGregor of yore, just dancing around and making a show.
Literally being the Notre Dame logo.
Yes.
In the octagon.
Yes.
No, he will never. I also think it's very, like, we don't often talk about, like, the circumstances of what type of environment are these fighters coming to prominence within. So, like, when he was making as rapid progress as he possibly can be in terms of being a better fighter, he was living a life that was very plain. Like, his life did not involve travel. It did not involve media. It involved him waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, going to the gym, and coming back probably around 8 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
And then eating in between somewhere when he had time and sleeping. That was about the life. And it's really difficult. And honestly, I think, one of the few guys, Bernard Hopkins comes to mind, as a guy who clearly was able to maintain that schedule and maintain that lifestyle. And it's really difficult
Yeah.
I mean, it's because it's hard to, in order to be consistently great for the longest period of time possible, you have to sort of upset the apple cart and find a way to hold off reward.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find a way to, like, because it's a natural human psychological, not trick, but I guess pattern to work really hard and then collect your reward, go through a period of stasis, and then determine a new goal. But in fighting, that even that tiny little period of stasis, you're done. Because the sport, especially a new sport like this, is evolving so quick. I mean, we're learning new things about how to be the best MMA fighter possible every event.
Yeah.
You know, every year it's
something new comes along. It's like, oh wow, nobody's thought of that before.
Yeah, a couple years ago it was karate. Conor was on the bleeding edge of that. This whole neo striking, and that, you know, everybody who fought in that traditional kickboxing Muay Thai stance was too easily predicted, and then all of a sudden everybody's coming at each other sideways and throwing karate kicks.
Yeah.
And, you know, now it seems
the
like
wrestlers have come in and
it seems like
their case
in just grappling in general. I mean, look at that John Jones fight last night.
Yeah.
His jiu-jitsu was really fucking good, and Gustafson's was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, he got taken down, and John did some pretty basic. He even said in his post-fight interview, he goes, "That's Gracie Baja jiu-jitsu."
Yeah.
He's like, you know, you got the takedown, work your way to side control,
and punch him in the back of the head. I'm gonna come back to that now that we're on topic again. He shot. There were straight shots, straight in the back of the dome. You watch that replay. I'm not exaggerating. It's literally punch. Like he's got him on the ground. Gus is defending. His hands right up on the side of his head, and John works his way around. Granted, intentional or not, whatever the case may be, but people have been disqualified for less.
Yes.
They were straight shots to the back of the head, and then Gus started to go limp.
Yeah. You're right. I'm actually surprised looking back on it. I kind of thought the same thing initially, but I'll be honest with you. I was in a frame of mind because the announcers weren't saying anything.
Yeah.
So I kind of just assumed that it must have been fine. But thinking back on it,
was side of the head, ear, further back, straight, but like literally he could have lined that up and connected right on the back of the skull.
How fucking powerful are those punches, though? That's the scary part.
Oh yeah.
Like
no,
Gus
is probably not going to fight for a while after that.
That's, you know, what really sucks too is, like, I feel in a way like I remember watching the original Jones versus Gustafson fight, and I remember thinking, like, I was kind of alone on the island of, like, Gus won that fight.
Yeah.
I thought Gustafson clearly won that fight.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it was an extremely close fight, but in my mind, he absolutely won more rounds than John did. Yeah. Therefore, he won the fight. But this time, I mean, he didn't even really belong in there with him.
My thing with that first fight, because I did go back and watch it in the lead up to this one.
Yes.
I think he definitely brought it to Jones, but I can really see how that went Jones's way because a lot of those shots were like inches off.
Yeah.
Like if you go back and look, John's reach is too much for him. He can't. He's like swinging at air, but he's so close. But it looks like he's connecting because he's just grazing past his face.
Well, that's another thing you saw last night is that Jones is clearly the superior boxer.
Yeah.
I think Jones would even tell you that. And I actually was watching, for those who may not be familiar with this guy, Luke Thomas is the guy who took over for Ariel Helwani once Ariel Helwani went to ESPN. So he runs MMA fighting now.
Yeah.
But he also has a show on Sirius that he does. I think it's on Rush, that channel. There's a lot of MMA stuff. And then he also has a YouTube channel. But and he actually made a video about how he got fucked big time. And I didn't watch the whole video, so I don't want to... But the gist of it was essentially he could not afford to last minute change his travel plans to have to go to LA and to the Forum rather than fucking Vegas.
We should get into that a little more. But
we should
continue.
But he made a really good point in that we don't like to admit it, but John Jones's fight IQ is fucking bananas.
Yes.
It is insane. I mean, he is so annoying. Like, watching him fight, like, he's just so technically sound.
You don't have to watch him fight. He's just annoying.
Yeah, well, but like,
John Jones is an annoying human being.
Every break, every time they get caught up in any sort of body lock position, every break he's landing a knee or an elbow. He's always throwing unorthodox strikes. Yeah. He's not in a pattern at all. It's so random what he does, and it's so effective, and his strategy is always pristine. I mean, with the DC fight, I mean, he clearly said in his post-fight interview, we saw something in him. We saw that he was lowering his hand when he did this, so we decided to throw a counter leg kick off of this particular exchange because we knew he was going to be there because he drops his hand. At the end of this fight, when we were studying tape of Gustafsson, we saw that when you were able to hold him down, his bottom game is not very good, and he's a big guy, and he gasses quickly because he's not used to having somebody on top of him. So what does he do? He follows that game plan to a T, finishes the fight in the same way, ironically, kind of that he finished. It was a very similar fight to DC. Mm-hmm. I think, both guys the first time around, and this is another point that Luke Thomas made that now people should watch his video because this isn't my original take. Yeah. But I agree with his that he had made in that, when you look at the first fight, the two closest fights he's ever had was Gus 1 and DC 1. Yeah. Then look at Gus 2 and DC 2. Both follow the same story. I mean, he clearly saw a hole in their game and took him out. Yeah. Now, in regards to the PED stuff, he is absolutely on performance-enhancing drugs.
Oh, there's no watching him train for that fight. Yeah, he looks even bigger than he did when he originally got popped.
Yeah, and I mean, again, with just the way his body looks. I mean, look at Gus. Yeah, you watch Gus, and he's got the body of a fighter. Yeah, he's lean.
He
but
looks more or less like he did the first time.
Yes, exactly. You don't see this physique change in him. Yeah. Whereas John, every time he takes his shirt off before a fight, you're like, "What? Who am I going to get?" You know, and maybe that's partly due to the partying, and that maybe he's gaining weight, losing weight, and the weight cut is varying degrees of difficulty for him depending upon how his lifestyle is at that particular juncture. But it just when you see his level of leanness too, it's just Chael says this best, and that it's the 4-pack versus the 6-pack. Yes, because it's just.
Chael to me will forever have the ultimate victory over John Jones. Yes, which is the Coke can thing. When they did the weigh-ins for their fight. Yeah, when they got to the face-off, first thing Chael did, he popped a can of Coke, made sure it was facing the cameras, and took a sip, and then just looked him in the eyes. And sure enough, what does John test hot for a year or so down the line?
Fucking Chael.
That's the ultimate victory over John because it was before anything had gotten out, but as soon as it came out and you go back and look at it, I see what you did there.
He's top 5 of my favorite humans. Pretty sure. I love Chael Sonnen. He's just. Didn't you say that we tagged him and he untagged himself or something?
We did, which I can't even be mad about because.
How do you know it was him who untagged it? Move.
I mean, he might have a social media person. Yeah. I imagine a lot of people, especially someone like Chael, probably manages their stuff themselves. Yeah. But who knows? Maybe he had somebody else and they just wanted to take his name off it or whatever.
Or why would, but that's the thing. He's got to get tagged all the time. Probably. I would imagine he gets hundreds. He's not like a mega star, but I don't think I would wager a guess he's getting in the high double digits per day of tags. Yeah. So is he really going through and policing it that closely? That seems like a weird expenditure of time.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe he just dictates his own status updates kind of thing because his posts always are in his voice. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know how it
well, he's got the guy who helps him with the podcast, so who knows?
It's probably that guy then. Yeah. So maybe it's that guy, but regardless,
it's. I think we were discussing a couple episodes ago. I don't even know how many at this point, but I'm pretty sure Chael is definitely top 3, top 5 favorite people, but definitely top 3 most desired guests.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Chael is like a dream guest for me for this show. So if you're watching, Mr. Sonnen, we would love to have the American Gangster on this show. We looking good?
Quick status check. Yeah. So for those hopefully this works out. This is our first.
They're gonna watch all of this, baby.
This is our first filming venture, and I am crazy paranoid that somehow the filming is not working properly, but it is.
Yeah. We've had some technical difficulties in the past, but now I think we have the Christmas mice on our side.
We do.
We have done our part to assuage them and allow them appease them enough so that they will allow us to record without a hitch.
And the Gravedigger is always looking over us.
Yes. Our guardian angel, the Gravedigger.
That's speaking of top 5 guests. That's the thing. Which version of the Gravedigger would we get? Because it's always a different guy.
I was gonna say. I assume that it's not Like it's just whoever is driving the truck. It's not really a person.
You know that there's like
it's a myth,
like some
it's a
kid
legend
in the Midwest out there who I think the Undertaker drives the Gravedigger.
Top secret. Yeah,
Yes.
he actually owns it and just rents it out to whoever might.
Mark
be
Calloway. U.S. who like there's definitely like a Midwestern kid though who like it's a huge deal when the Monster Jam comes to town in their neck of the woods who like is truly like I want to grow up and drive the digger.
Yeah, he's got posters.
Yeah,
he's got like every different iteration. He can name every driver of the Gravedigger. He knows the legacy.
I always thought that it would be a hilarious like part of a like a sketch routine. Yeah. Where like if somehow you were like in somebody's office in some sort of business setting.
Yeah.
And the guy's got like a signed, like framed autograph of the Gravedigger.
Yeah.
And he just like goes off about it. He's like, yeah, I remember back in '87, I was Digger 1.
Yeah.
Got to meet him after the show. And he's like making a huge deal out of it. And like previously you felt really good about the business deal.
Yeah.
But now you're seeing how obsessed this guy is with the Gravedigger and you're having second thoughts.
Yeah.
You don't think it's a good sketch comedy idea?
I was thinking about my raging vitriol towards John Jones and Dana White, so I got distracted there.
You were thinking about your upcoming rant.
Yes,
that's fine.
I was watching. Yeah, I mean, I was watching one of the pre-fight press conferences from last week, from like the lead after the announcement that they were moving the fight and everything that had come out, and they're getting ready for the fight. And there was a journalist, I don't know what her name was. She had an accent. I'm thinking she may have been from like Swedish press, just because of the Gustafsson fight. But I don't know what where her accent was from. And she was actually asking about the test, and she started like asking along those questions. And Dana makes his classic stank face, like,
yeah.
And John's just like, "Oh, next question, please." And then like she kind of like kept it going a little, like she wouldn't back off it, and then you got people start booing in the background, but then you can't tell if the booing is for her or if it's for the John or what's going on. But
no, in the UFC's fan base, unfortunately, it was probably for her.
Yeah, she's a woman at a
What's
UFC
she
press
doing
conference. Who let her in? So he's like giving the thumbs down. So then she turns the question to Gus and like, how do you feel about this? He's like, oh, finally a good question, because he doesn't want to answer questions about himself.
Yeah.
And Gus is saying, it's bad for the sport, whatever, like, everything that's happened, this whole circus of moving the fight to another athletic commission that is probably more easily bought. Oop. That whole fiasco playing out. Then she turns to Cyborg. She continues her questioning. Meanwhile, John is like telling her to just sit down. This is bad journalism. No, this is actually the appropriate journalism.
This is literally just journalism. Yes. It's funny that an MMA fighter who, honestly, MMA doesn't even have appropriate journalism following it yet. Yeah. Like, it's not popular enough to have a beat writer.
Occasionally, Sports Center will mention it. But
yeah. So, like, they don't even know what it is to be a journalist. They've never even interacted with appropriate journalism. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, ask your brothers how press conferences go for them. Tell them see what they say about how journalists are.
If they fucking, the NFL is under such a microscope. Like, if they farted in the locker room afterwards, they probably would have been a front page story in the Daily Post about it. So.
Yeah. But then she turns to Cyborg, and she asks Cyborg, like, how do you feel about all this nonsense with the PEDs? You seem like you don't have any energy in your face there. And Cyborg is like, oh, I have plenty of energy. And John starts backing her up. So, John, you're going to back up the other fighter on the card most notorious for steroids. You're aligning yourself specifically.
Here's what I don't understand, too. Like, because you think about Cyborg and her whole excuse for the test.
I think we haven't mentioned this enough. That knockout by Amanda Nunes on Cyborg was exquisite. It was incredible. Like watching that fight was amazing.
Talk about like a willingness to fight.
Yes.
Like, it's funny because John and Gus are the marquee names there, and they come out super tentative, slow matchup. The girls just came out fucking swinging.
Yes.
And it was not like silly swinging.
No.
I mean, it was technical. I mean, anytime you get in a brawl like that, technique is not at the foremost. But it definitely, I mean, the punches she hit her with, man, like, and you could see in even instant replay her like noticing these particular openings and throwing hook after hook. I mean, just left hook, right hook is what finished her, I think.
Yeah.
But kind of like an overhand.
But like, and seeing how many shots like Cyborg would take and then she's like bring it on, like she's ready to fucking rock. That was exquisite. But off topic, what you were about to say.
I actually kind of wish it went a little longer though. Like I wanted to see that fight. Like I wanted to see them fight, and I did, but it just wasn't very. And honestly, my number one thing that I came away from that is Nunes looked big. I mean, there was not. No, I'm not saying big that way. I just mean like I think she has a body where she just is able to put on. Like she definitely had more fat mass than she typically does.
Yeah.
And obviously it's harder for women to just snap their fingers and put on muscle to move up a weight class. So if she's going to move up a weight class, she's going to put on some fat.
Yeah.
But I did not think that there was that big of a size discrepancy between
actually, I agree with you there as I think about it.
Cyborg might have been a little taller, but I actually think Nunes was thicker.
Yeah.
In terms of just like muscle mass and
it looked like thinking about the fight going into it, I was picturing like little Amanda Nunes versus Cyborg, but it seemed like a pretty even matchup.
Yeah,
and the results speak for themselves.
No one talks about this too, but like, why aren't they making more out of the first gay champion, first gay double champion? I mean, the greatest.
Because Dana White is the president of the UFC.
Yes, that's true. But like when you're talking about, Schaub talks about this all the time. Like, there's so many things about so many different fighters on the roster that are marketable.
Yes,
and you just don't hear any of it.
Yeah,
and it just blows my mind. I mean, they marketed the fact that she was the one who beat. She retired Rousey. She retired Miesha Tate. So it's not like you didn't have actual in-ring things to market about her. But I mean, we're in a situation now where basically the Michael Jordan of female fighting is a gay woman. Yeah. And you just don't hear anything about it. You wouldn't even know if she didn't give her girlfriend a shout out.
Yeah. And it's not even like where people can accuse her of like fucking SJW, blah, blah, blah. Like she's not grandstanding about it. She's not like waving a pride flag as she comes out to the ring. It wouldn't be the first time a pride flag has come out to the ring. Hey, pride.
Hey,
bang.
Very good, very good. I got you. You had to walk me through that one, but I got it.
A little off. It worked better in my head. But it's not like that's just who she is. And she goes out to the ring and she does her job and nobody can stop her.
Yeah. She is,
and that's
not even close. She is the greatest female mixed martial artist of all time.
Yes.
It is not even remotely close. There's no one even in her stratosphere other than the woman who she just knocked out in 50 seconds.
Yes.
So, and I mean, it's funny too, because it just goes to show you, though, the nature of marketability. Because in terms of technique and skill, and now certainly accomplishment, Nunes has accomplished so much more than Rousey ever has. But she's not even the main event. Whereas Rousey, when she fought, it was, I mean, they would just put duds on the card other than Rousey because just her alone would sell 1 million pay-per-views.
Because Dana White was the president.
And he probably was literally having sex with her, as Brendan Schaub made us all realize.
I'm going to continue. Anything stupid or nonsensical about the UFC, I'm just going to respond with, because Dana White is the president of the UFC.
I think
that's just what it comes down to at this point.
Part of me loves Dana White, though. Like, I wish they would keep him on as like the faux. Like, keep him on as like the Eric Bischoff.
Yes.
He's like the general manager.
Give somebody else his real job, but let him be the mouthpiece still. Yes. I'm totally fine with that.
Hire an actual like business person.
Yes.
To, although I will say, like, we never talk about like he is, in all intents and purposes, like, his business record is impressive. He's an entrepreneur who helped found probably one of the biggest sports leagues now in the world. So it's not like he's not. But I understand, like, it's different. There's a different energy needed to get to the top than it is to stay there.
Yes.
Especially in business.
Yes.
I mean, you even see, like, with Apple, like, look at the different phases of Steve Jobs, right?
Yeah.
Like, he was one guy as they were ascending. He's another guy once they're at the top. And, I mean, sometimes they also booted his ass out of there. Because he just was bringing that overly feisty energy back. And they're like, no, that's not who we are anymore. We're going to go hire the fucking CEO of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah.
But, the Eric Bischoff, Dana White role would be something I would rather enjoy. So, if any UFC brass, for some God unknown reason, stumbles across this, do it.
Whatever intern is in those offices, pass this along.
Yes.
I'm sure
We
you've heard
tag
this on
UFC.
like a couple of other podcasts before. I'm sure you probably whisper about it in the office, but it needs to be done.
Wonder if there's ever like a person of prominence who's listened to our podcast. Like, not I'm even saying like fucking like a famous person, but just someone who like we know.
You know what would be terrifying is if it was actually Tony Ferguson and he heard the episode where we called him a goblin. And he's listening to this episode right now, and he actually is coming to kill us.
Or he takes it and rolls with it and changes his nickname to the Green Goblin. Doesn't he like weed? Isn't he a big weed guy?
I don't know. Because
if he is,
me.
boom, the Green Goblin.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Come out to the fucking ring, have them like carry you on a board, just be like smoking a blunt.
He's got a smoke bomb that's shaped like a pumpkin, and he lobs it into
just
the crowd.
fucking shoots out chronic. But
oh goodness,
yeah, I mean it was definitely. They're lucky that the fight card delivered, but I do think that this. I haven't done the listening and research on the whole topic as I typically do, just because the holidays.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even get the information until later than I typically would. Yeah, I wasn't checking my phone as often, or I just was getting so many notifications, and because it's fucking. I was in the middle of a fantasy football final, which I won.
Yeah,
God damn it!
Congratulations!
So the worry isn't that we were able to afford all this new equipment, but I mean. I think I would go back to kind of put a bow on how we feel about the John Jones thing and how we feel about the PED things, and as it relates to his case, I would just say we need to remind ourselves yet again of what we talked about in the beginning of the episode. And that,
but there's also, I bet what you said about selling fights and all that. But there's also in that moving the entire card to California is such a disservice to the fans.
And the fighters.
And the fighters and all these people, which you're already paying these guys less than you and I make.
Yeah.
We're not wealthy men by any means. Most of these fighters make less money than we do.
Yes.
Like they're already being underpaid. Now you're asking them to change their entire travel service, buy tickets to go from where they are now. Like, I didn't follow it enough. Was there anybody that had to drop from the card specifically for that? I feel like there was a couple.
There had to be at least one, but I cannot say with certainty that I know of one.
Yeah. And then all the people who
fucking stats guy around here. Damn it.
Jamie, where you at?
Where are you at, Jamie?
He's not here.
Jamie, my dad will probably listen to this, whose name is Jamie. We're not talking about you. We're talking about Joe Rogan's producer. Although, if you'd like to be our stats guy, he's not technical enough. Yeah. He'd be a terrible stats guy.
And it's just like, it's between, and again, like between that and just like everything that happened with the Khabib fight, like it just looks bad for the sport. Like
it's starting. We're starting to really build a case for getting rid of Dana White.
Yeah.
Like I actually think it might happen within the next calendar year.
Yeah.
Because there are actual suits involved with the UFC now, like actual real business people suits.
Those honestly, and I hate to say it, but some of this may be their decision making.
Yeah.
Some of it may be like they may be using Dana as that Eric Bischoff puppet, but he doesn't actually get to make the calls.
Yeah.
Like he has people to answer to besides the Fertittas.
He's got a boss now.
They probably hang out, smoke cigars, and do coke, and it's fine. Like he just gets what he wants. With these guys, he actually has to present himself.
And the funny thing is, you could definitely make an argument that under the Fertittas, this fucking thing was a much tighter ship than it currently is.
Yeah.
I mean, none of the shit happened under there. I mean, there was controversy every now and again, but it seems like they really ran a much tighter ship than the guys who now are far wealthier.
Yeah.
And the reason I would say that might be the case is I don't think these WME IMG guys are really
the what?
There's the company that so fun fact.
Run that by me again because I did not catch that.
Did you ever watch Entourage?
I know I'm generally familiar with the show, yeah.
So Ari Gold.
Yes.
The guy who is the real life Ari Gold, the guy who that character was based off of, started a company. I don't remember if he started WME or IMG. But long story short, he is the CEO of the company that bought the UFC.
Oh, God.
His name is Ari Emanuel, whose brother is Rahm Emanuel.
Okay.
You know him? He's the mayor of Chicago and was like one of Obama's lieutenants for a period of time.
Yeah.
So what a tangled web we weave. But in regards to what I'm saying, I don't think that they're really. I think they approached the UFC, and I don't know. They could have a whole fucking office of people assigned to it. I don't know. But one thing I would say is it definitely seems as if perhaps they were trying to kind of set it and forget it.
Yeah.
In regards to making money off of the UFC, they clearly haven't changed that much.
Yeah.
The UFC's TV deal, from what I'm able to understand, sucks. I mean, they're in with ESPN, but it's for the fucking streaming app. Like, it's not going to be on ESPN. It's on ESPN Plus.
That sounds like the complete opposite of what they've been trying to sell it as.
Yes.
I'm seeing that UFC ESPN logo makes it sound like, oh, I'm going to be able to turn on ESPN on a Saturday night and I get to watch fights for free.
And I don't know, man. It's hard to. I think really what they ought to fucking do is start an app. Do the WWE network, but UFC network. Just do it.
I thought they did that.
Well, they made Fight Pass, but they don't do they don't do the pay-per-views on it. You still have to get rid of pay-per-view. Pay-per-view fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that they must have some numbers on this, and they must have the numbers that say that they must. Obviously, they feel as if they'd make more money doing what they're doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If Vince fucking McMahon, who has been in your line of business, the pay-per-view business, because that's really what the UFC is. It's a pay-per-view business.
Yeah.
No motherfucker on planet Earth has been in that business longer than Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Yeah.
Probably sue us just for me saying his full name.
I didn't even know he had a middle name.
No one has been in that business as long as he has, and he made the decision to no longer. Well, he still does pay-per-view, but you don't have to.
Yeah.
You could just pay for the network, and you'd get all the pay-per-views in exchange for that $10.
To incentivize people to download the network, and then you get both incomes.
And then they could do The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Like, don't put The Ultimate Fighter on fucking Fox. Nobody is watching it. Do The Ultimate Fighter and put it on the UFC app.
Yeah.
Like, make UFC shows. You know, get to know the fighter. Fucking Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Boom. A whole hour on Anthony Smith. Now I know about him. Great. Now I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, just the amount of content they'd be able to create if they just get rid of fucking shitty UFC Tonight and put it on the app.
Yeah.
Just make there a one-stop. Like, I've never understood this. Like, in this day and age, that's what apps have really done well. Like, if I want UFC, it's all scattered.
Yeah.
A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. Just make one. Go to zone, bro.
Yeah. You know what, though? I feel what probably is preventing them from doing that, I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC loses a lot of money when dumb shit like what we've experienced, like some of the stuff we've talked about happens.
Yeah.
Like the Khabib thing, John Jones's never-ending saga. I guarantee you, in like a couple weeks, he's gonna like crash into a school bus full of kids, and he's gonna be like, "I'm sorry, I need to change my life. I've learned a lot."
And he's right back to the fucking positive vibe thing. Stop doing that, John. We know you're a piece of shit. Yeah. We know. Just do it. Just stop with the God stuff. Stop with the religion. Stop with I'm just so thankful and I love my team and all this stuff.
That's the mark of a sociopath.
Yes.
Like that's
Give us some locker room talk, John.
Yeah. Just like
I should have said that. I don't mean in the Trump fashion. I mean behave as if you were surrounded by your teammates. Be the asshole we all know you really are.
Yeah. Like I may not be the biggest Floyd Mayweather fan, but Floyd Mayweather was Floyd Mayweather. Like he didn't try to play anything in regards
people
to
watch
like,
because they want him to lose.
Yeah.
And John has the same opportunity. People are already watching to watch you lose. They're hoping that everyone in the world yesterday watched that fight, hoping to God that Gustafsson pulled it off, including myself.
There's still some shitheads if you read like Facebook or YouTube comments that were like, "Oh, greatest of all time," blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I want
to
come back to.
It is true.
Most skilled. John Jones is the most skilled of all time. He will never be greatest of all time.
Because of the steroid stuff?
Greatest of all, not even necessarily the steroid stuff, but just everything else about his character. Being the greatest and being the most skilled, I feel, are two completely different things.
So you're saying like Muhammad Ali versus like Floyd Mayweather?
Yes.
Yes.
Floyd Mayweather will never truly be the greatest of all time because he was a dick. He's incredibly skilled. His defense was impeccable. He's undefeated. He has all of that to his credit. but he will never be regarded as you have to embody a certain character. And I think, honestly, what we're talking about right now, that's what John's trying to do. He knows he will never be regarded the same way as a Muhammad Ali or Anderson Silva or
Saint
any
Pierre,
of those guys. Like, he will
McGregor. Because McGregor, he did, like, in a way, here's the thing. What you're saying is you're so it's funny because I listen to a sports radio show called the Dan Le Batard Show, and he has a co-host named Stu Gatz, and he always talks about his own personal record book.
Yeah.
And it's a joke because, like, there are guys who have like Tom Brady has -5 championships in his own personal record book. But so, like, what you're saying is in your own personal record book, what you do is so you're a martial artist. You enjoy the martial arts. You're a genuine fan. You're a Jeet Kune Do guy, right?
Yes.
So you want your greatest of all time to have that samurai vibe about him.
Yes. It needs to be somebody who can be a positive role model. They don't have to be a squeaky clean person.
But
like, GSP goes out and parties. We know this, but he there's a time and place for that.
I would say that Conor embodies, though, a different type of vibe, and I think that Conor embodied the Ali vibe. Because Ali at the time was not, many people did not consider him to be a role model, even within the black community. Yeah. I mean, think about what he was doing to Joe. He was using racial slurs towards Joe Frazier. You know? I mean, he really did, like, Conor, that is, kind of recreate what Ali did, and that he was controversial.
Yeah.
But yet still, like, he would always say the wrong things leading up to the fight, and he'd always say the right things after the fight. Yeah. That was kind of Conor's thing. Because even when he lost, he's always very gracious. He has nothing but positive things to say about when he lost to Nick. And he was very honest. He was like, yep, didn't measure my energy well. He's a really good fighter, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me, Nate, not Nick. And then...
that will never not happen.
Yeah.
That will forever be
my bad. But... so I think in that regard, in my personal record book, I love the Ali vibe. We've talked about it before on this podcast, the whole Gorgeous George thing that he started. That look at me, I'm the charismatic motherfucker, and I'm better than everybody else. Yeah. That energy recreated with fucking Ric Flair. It came back with Ali. It came back with, like, Floyd certainly did it. Yeah. There's something about that, like, charismatic, really cocky attitude. Yeah. And I think Conor caught that lightning in a bottle again. And honestly, I think he did it better than anybody else, with the exception of Ali. Mm-hmm. But I would say that if you're, like, in your own personal record book, we're talking like that samurai vibe. Yeah, you're talking Saint Pierre. You're talking Anderson Silva. Those are probably the two biggest at a time. BJ Penn. Yeah, I think.
I think you'd even say, like, Shogun. Yeah, just
would you say that
nice guy,
one of the things that you consider to be the greatest of all time is masturbating in front of a camera, a la Randy Couture? Did you see that?
Oh God, what?
Oh yeah, poor Randy. He somebody hacked his iCloud.
Oh
yeah,
Randy.
That's not good. He's
Randy got Randy.
Yeah, it was weird. I have not watched it, but I was listening.
Just the idea, it's in my head now. It does. I don't have to watch it. I could. Oh,
it was. Have you ever listened to the podcast with Luis Gomez and Michael Bisping?
I know of it. I've never listened.
It's pretty solid, and they had a pretty good, like, they did like a breakdown of it, and I didn't watch it because it's just, I don't want to watch, like, it's weird that I would navigate the internet with the sole intention of trying to watch Randy Couture masturbate.
Yeah,
like, that's a little weird. So,
like I said, it's already there. I don't need to know how close the image in my head is to what happened.
Although if we did a live watch right now, that would be kind of funny.
It'd be hilarious, but I'm not going to watch it. So you can do that one yourself.
I can't. My phone is being used as our filming device. By the way, fill some time. I'm going to check it.
Okay. We're going to do that. Like those are the guys I would consider to embody that. Even, like, Hoyce, because he blazed the trail. Granted, he kicked Shamrock in the nuts, but whatever. Like, Boss Rutan.
Yeah,
Boss is another one who had, like, he could be.
I don't think that
a little cocky. He could be a little.
I don't think Boz, though, had the in ring. Like, he was definitely an accomplished fighter, but I don't think he had the in ring. Although, I mean, for the time, he did.
Yeah. But he the thing with Boss is that he came into MMA before it was what we know it as
Yeah,
now.
he's like the Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
like
he was doing
hitting...
it in a time where the rules were different, the standards were different, there weren't the same companies, there wasn't the same competition, but he was a journeyman. He went out there and he rocked it, and his wins were better than his losses.
Yeah, he was the Babe Ruth. He was hitting home runs off of guys named Tiny Smith.
Yeah.
Oh man, but definitely an interesting. I really don't know of a big fight that's on the horizon, because the Askren fight was canceled.
Yeah.
So that he was supposed to fight Lawler, Robbie Lawler.
Lawler shouldn't fight.
Yeah,
Lawler should stop doing that.
Should stop fighting. He's been in too many fucking knockdown, drag out.
Yeah,
and he's been doing it since he was 7 fucking teen, I think. Like
Yeah.
he's still not that old.
Yeah.
Yet he's been fighting for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like it's just, yeah, I agree with you. And that also does not do. I hope they canceled it, because like that fight does nothing for me. I don't care about Ben Askren. Throw him right in, man. He's been talking shit for 10 fucking years. Throw him right in.
Yeah.
Although Schaub would tell you that you should not throw him right in. You need a star, and you need a star for the long haul, because outside of Conor and John Jones, and both of them are a little bit.
You know
right
who I predict kind of becoming a star?
Who's that?
Dominic Reyes.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think he's gonna take. It's gonna take some time. He's gonna need to like work his way up, but I guarantee you, within the next year or two, he's fighting John or whoever's the champ at the time, depending on John's activities outside of the ring.
Who did he beat that? OSP, right?
OSP, yeah.
That was one of those fights, man, where like halfway through the second round, I looked at you and it's like, he's kicking his ass.
Yeah.
Like this is a fucking ass whooping.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 fights I could distinctly remember that happening. It was that and Jimmy Rivera versus Uriah Faber. I remember they fought on the CM Punk card. The original CM Punk card. But I remember like I was watching it with our good friend Jimmy. Shout out Jimmy Viola, but in the Necrosexual. But he's, by the way, now that we have a video component, we have to have him on the podcast as the Necrosexual.
We need the Necrosexual in our lives.
But
the Grim One.
We were watching it together, and like we both turned to each other. I was like, "Is it me, or is this guy kicking the shit out of Uriah Faber?"
Yeah.
Because the sensation that I'm describing, there is a nature of like, I did not expect this to happen. Yeah. We were watching OSP versus Dominic Reyes. I didn't know who the fuck Dominic Reyes was.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, after 3 rounds, knocked him out.
Yeah.
That was a knockout.
Yeah. No, that was yes and no. I know what you're talking about.
By the rule, it wasn't a knockout.
Yeah.
But technically, like, because it happened right at the bell.
It was soon. I would say it's soon to be a TKO.
Yeah.
I think, because
OSP wasn't getting up.
Yeah, OSP, but OSP knew he didn't have to get up because the fight was over.
Yeah,
like it.
Better off down there.
Yeah,
don't get up.
Yeah,
stay down.
Relax.
Stay down, Rock.
Get your bearings. Make sure your brain is still intact. But yeah, no, I agree. He whooped the shit out of him.
Yeah,
he absolutely did. And I think like I said, give him a couple years. See, like who's ahead of him right now? I mean, there's Gus. There's
Gus, who honestly I don't even know. Why would Gus keep fighting?
Yeah.
What's there for him to do?
Yeah.
Go to heavyweight?
Somebody needs to convince Rumble Johnson to come out of retirement. I need that so bad.
I want Rumble Johnson to fight John Jones so bad. That was the one guy. And here's the thing. 8 out of 10 times, John Jones destroys Rumble.
Yes.
But there's those 2.
Yes.
Those 2 where
he's
John
gonna rock him once. Even if he doesn't put him down, he's gonna land the shot that everybody wants to see John Jones take.
Yeah.
Like just like what happened to
exactly.
DC.
You said that perfectly.
Yeah.
He's going to fucking knock John into another universe at least one time.
Yes.
Or at least come close to it. Or let's even say there's a chance of it happening.
Yeah.
And if it does, it'll, like that's basically the equivalent of like Floyd Mayweather fighting like Triple G.
Yeah.
It's just like, that at the very least, you're going to rock that motherfucker.
Yes. It may not put him down.
Yeah.
He may not win the fight, but you're going to everybody's going to stand up and cheer when it happens.
Yes. He's going to sit him on his ass at least once.
I wonder what he's thinking right now. Like, I almost wonder if he's considering coming back.
Nah, he's too far gone. And he's a guy who struggled with weight issues anyways.
Yeah, but
he'd
what
probably
does
have
it
to
matter
cut to get to
now?
heavyweight now.
Yeah, that's true. He
Go
is
back to
huge.
cutting 70
I've-
pounds.
I've heard he's pretty huge these days.
Oh, he used to make 170 and he walked around at 240.
He didn't make 170. That's
That's-
he
yeah.
fought at 170. He didn't make.
He made it like
170.
once and missed it 7 times. Finally, they were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Then he made it 185 a few times, and they were like, "This is still like not. Just no.
Yeah.
Why are you doing
But
this?"
honestly, like, fuck it. If we're just gonna let guys fight on steroids, let Rumble go in there. Let's juice Yoel Romero to the gills and put him in with John. See what happens.
What's this?
I love you, John Jones.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, let's make Yoel Romero into Bane and just
hate
have
doing-
him go against John Jones.
I love his voice, but I hate doing it. It hurts my voice, my
Yeah,
throat
no,
so
it's-
bad.
He's just gonna make gurgling noises in a few years.
But what was I gonna say? That was real stupid. I just put my foot on the camera chair.
We're not used to it.
No.
We're figuring it.
No.
I've looked at it like 5 times. Just
It is
directly
weird to
into
sit
it.
there, and it's also like for some reason I always think that the camera is in the apple, and then
Yeah.
stupidly I remember that no, it's that thing up top.
Yes,
But
because
anyway,
it's the middle. I'm looking at the middle of the.
we
thing.
shouldn't be breaking down the
It's-
third wall here, man.
We've the
Do you
fourth
have the
wall.
time?
It's a fourth wall.
This is totally great
correct,
radio
Dad.
here.
This is
The fourth wall.
It's 4:02, so we've been going about an hour, maybe a little
Alright.
less.
Let's put it. The only reason I have to go is unfortunately the Eagles are playing in 20 minutes, and
This
I am
is
not
true.
going to watch the game here.
Ah,
I'm going to watch it at our good pal Steve's house. Shout out to Steve,
shout out
former
to Steve.
podcast
We
guest
should
where
have
we
Steve
talked
back
about.
on. I didn't. I wasn't here for the Steve episode. We could
I-
set that up.
I would say yes, like that'd be great, but I don't think we could talk about personal training because it's just not. He hasn't done it.
No, but we'll talk about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a good conversationalist.
Yeah.
That's the essential component of a podcast guest. But no, we got some. Hopefully, we'll be traveling soon to do some podcasts coming up.
We have some big things on the horizon.
Hopefully, and hopefully,
No,
we got.
no, not hopefully. We've confirmed it. We haven't confirmed dates. That's
but
all we
we've
need.
confirmed the idea,
Yes.
and in addition to that, we're going to try and get some YouTube content for you white belt fucks.
Especially
And,
with I have a charity boxing match coming
Yeah.
up February 22nd. Hell yeah. It's going to be me versus a short comedian who's 200 pounds but says he's going to slim down. So it's going to be me versus a guy at like 197.
Do we have a venue yet?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea where. I have no idea what the exact rules will be. I don't know how long the rounds are or
Okay.
how many of them there are. I would assume it's probably like a 3 threes or something like that.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
not going to
think-
certainly. Watch it be like 10 threes.
Yeah, it's just
That wouldn't
you
even
go
be-
till somebody loses.
Like that would be a definite, like it's ending in a TKO. If
Oh,
two
yeah.
comedians have to go 10 3-minute rounds, it's
Yeah.
ending in a. So it's
Probably early on.
Yeah,
We're just trying to get this over with.
I think 3 threes is a big ask,
Yeah.
but hey, anyways, we will make sure that you are prepared, and we will document the journey
Oh,
on our
yes.
YouTube channel. Hey, all right, anything else?
No. Stay tuned. We got big things coming in the new year. It's a new age. It's a
Alright.
new era. It's a new world order, brother.
Godspeed.